Hello everyone, welcome back to Corsace Open 2023. It's a new round, it's a new day, it's a new weekend. It's time for the runoffs now, the next round. Last week, many teams fought to try and get into here. We've lost a few now, we've had a few casualties, but the remaining 8 teams are going to be looking for a place in the knockout stage, and we're kicking things off here with FUUKA Motor and Grease Monkey Deluxe. I'm Doomsday, and have the pleasure of casting this one with Mr. Vordy. What's up, dude?
I'm doing fantastic, Doomsday. I'm very excited for this match. I think both of these teams are pretty strong, placed very similar to each other in the first qualifiers. FUUKA Motor at 17, and then Grease Monkey Deluxe at 14. However, FUUKA Motor did get out of their groups 2-1, had a bit of a better performance than Grease Monkey Deluxe. But I think at a harder stage pool, I think some of the star players, some of the mechanics players on the side of Grease Monkey Deluxe might be a little bit more poised to have some good matchups, notably like Zoomer, Kablaze, You're Cute, Bunny Like Money, a lot of these really strong mechanics players that can finally show what they're capable of on this star rating of a pool.
Yes, as we get higher up in those star ratings, the higher ranked players are definitely going to start to be able to flex a little bit more. Because last week's pool, well, it was very early on. There weren't too many maps that got past the 7-star level. Now it's quite a bit more now. But looking at FUUKA Motor, though, they have a lot of strong tourney players that really belay their rank, though. I think even at this sort of level, so who knows here?
Yeah, 100%. I think for FUUKA Motor, they're going to be looking to pick into a lot of their aim control, sort of gimmicky skill set strengths. Notice, players like Nathan Ram, Megumik, some of the stuff they can do on, tech maps, alt maps, aim control maps is very, very strong. And I think that's going to be their advantage in this matchup. Meanwhile, I think Grease Monkey Deluxe is going to be looking to show off their mechanic skill sets, things like DT2 notably, where last week it was just over 7 stars. Now it's like 7.7 stars. You have a few other maps that are really pushing mechanics. I think now, especially with somebody like Zoomer, especially, who is just so used to playing high star rating maps, you can look to him as the rock for some of those types of skill sets.
Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about Zoomer, right? He's been making the rounds for some of his plays. You don't see him too many times in tourneys, but if you can get to those later rounds, you could see him flexing. But I think in terms of this matchup, though, even though the maps are harder, there's still quite a bit of consistency you need, and I do think that both teams have the players to try and make things work there. But there's so much experience, I think, on the side of FUUKA Motor, really. Konkon Kitsune has been around the block many years now. Rampax has as well. Hakui as well, Ruto. There's a lot of experience there and a lot of versatility. Maybe a few of the players on the side of Grease Monkey are maybe not quite as experienced. They still have players like Kablaze, though, who has been around just forever and knows how to deal with matches like this. So
yeah, 100%.
It's very well poised. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I do agree. I think pretty much all of the names on the side of FUUKA Motor I've seen in tourney play for a while, and they're all 100% experienced veterans. I think on the side of Grease Monkey Deluxe, notably like Bunny Like Money, up and coming, really, really strong mechanics player. Not as experienced in the tourney scene. I think same thing with You're Cute. I see them more as like a solo mechanics player, but that means they have the raw skill 100%. It just is a case of how comfortable are they playing some of these more niche maps potentially. But they still have, Melver, Penguinzy, Kablaze, all have played many tournaments. I think Zoomer now is a pretty comfortable tournament player. I mean, I think in OWC qualifiers, he really popped off. I think he was pretty much the reason they qualied. I think they qualied, right? Pretty sure they did, but I know he played very, very well in those qualies. So I think he's a very, very strong tourney player, even if he hasn't been as experienced. But yeah, potentially I think they're going to be looking at some of their newer tourney players to really show up and do what they should be able to do in a way.
Things are kicking off with the picks and bans. I was looking at the bans from these two teams in the round robin stage. I noticed that Grease Monkey Deluxe tended to ban quite a bit of speed. I'm not sure if that was due to the opponents they were facing, but I was a little bit surprised to see that. I'm not sure how they're doing speed versus FUUKA Motor. I don't think they'd be too bad in head-to-head on like those speedy DTs and maybe that No Mod 2, which is quite stamina heavy this week, I'd say.
Yeah, I wonder if one of the, because I know I saw one MP where they did play DT2 and I think they had a really good run at it. So maybe one of the matches they just didn't have everybody warm or available. Because I think on paper they should have a pretty good speed roster. And as you said, the No Mod 2 this week is a lot more tapping intensive than either qualifiers or the last week where they were in the 170 BPM range. This time 200 BPM, very stamina heavy, really benefit the players who have high stamina, which I think will play into Grease Monkey Deluxe's strengths. And they will ban the No Mod 5, so I think that kind of control gimmick skill set that Fuma is going to be really, really good at.
Straight away looking at some of the players that FUUKA Motor have, yeah, the gimmicks are going to be pretty strong for them. No Mod 5 it's like crazy slider tech in it. It's got some whacked out sliders, very high SVs, and so you've already as well mentioned about some of the snapping in that between those sliders, pretty hard as well. So very heavy on the control, and it's gone.
Yep. Umo banning Hidden 2. So that is an interesting one. Obviously, the AR8 Hidden map. I'm kind of surprised because I do think there's generally some overlap with being good at gimmicky control maps and being good at low AR Hidden. But potentially respecting some of the low AR Hidden players on the side of Grease Monkey Deluxe for that one.
Perhaps. They actually banned a lot of Hidden 2 last week as well, which surprises me a bit. I am a bit surprised they don't like AR8 Hidden. I would have had that down as a possible pick in a lot of matchups, but they don't like it. And
they end up being the ones to pick DT2.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I'm a bit surprised at this pick. Obviously, FUUKA Motor did play a lot of DT2 in the round robin stages, and they played them pretty well. So clearly the star rating increase, the mechanics increase, was not a deterrent for them to pick a map like this. Seeing Grease Monkey Deluxe ban the skill set, I think Grease Monkey Deluxe should be able to put up a pretty good roster for this though, and FUUKA should know that. So maybe FUUKA just feeling really confident in their ability to play a map at this stage, almost pushing the 8-star territory now.
Perhaps it could be targeting into the fact that maybe they looked at the previous matches, saw a lot of the DT2 bans and thought, maybe we can go into that. But yeah, you mentioned it. I think they should be okay, right? This is old style DT, very speed heavy, classic Silver Forest, maps by Nissan. You sort of know what you're getting into with this one. Old style speed, 252 BPM, some long streams too.
Yep. I think the BPM of this map is going to be pretty rough, especially because the DT2 last week was only 220, around the 220 mark.
I think the on-screen settings aren't quite right there. This is Silver Forest. But it's definitely 252 BPM, not 222.
Yeah, for sure. I think the 222 might be last week's DT2. Yeah, the stats are looking like last week's DT2.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, now we have Bunny Like Money and Nathan Ram being the only two remaining FCs. I think Bunny Like Money, really strong stamina player, and we can see that 98% right now up against Nathan Ram's 93% on the FC. I think that accuracy on the side of Grease Monkey Deluxe is doing a lot for them. Surprised to see, Zoomer holding Hayak as well, finding that early miss, but it's It's going to be Konkon Kitsune right now with that backing combo at 97%. As well, pretty much a 2v2 as 4 of the players find some misses, but Zoomer breaking is going to leave pretty much only Bunny Like Money to be the sole score gainer. But now with Konkon Kitsune building up that recovery combo. However, with that drop from Nathan Ram, I think that is Grease Monkey Deluxe favored.
Yeah, the accuracies are way on the favor of FUUKA, but it's a combo game. Bunny Like Money can start to try and pull this back, but 91, 92% on Melva and You're Cute really does hurt Grease Monkey here. But they are slowly... not even gaining, actually. They're not really gaining enough. The recoveries are really strong now on team of FUUKA.
Yeah, I mean, those supporting combos are just so massive, and yeah, with that miss from Bunny Like Money, that is likely going to do it. I think this will be FUUKA taking their first pick as Konkon Kitsune has that massive recovery. Rampax matching what Zoomer is building up right now. And, I mean, I really just came down to those supporting combos on the side of Grease Monkey Deluxe not being as comfortable.
Yeah, the 4v4, it is a team game at the end of the day. A really good attempt, though, from Bunny Like Money, and solid from Zoomer as well. It was a good pick in the end, actually. Yeah, you can kind of see why Grease Monkey may have banned out more DT2. If their 4 isn't as comfortable as maybe some of the other teams. Good pick in here from FUUKA to start off things. That from Rampax, though, he's a speed player.
Oh, wow.
98.4. We didn't even mention that, but that's actually very good for this.
That is insane. I think Rampax might have slider broke right at the middle to get a score like that. Very could have been a lot better, but yeah, obviously, as you said, the 4-man on the side of FUUKA doesn't matter if you have really, really solid mechanics players. You need like 4 solid mechanics players, and part of Corsace being a 6-team size tournament now with having to field 4, that ratio of 3 to 2 makes it a lot harder to find 4 players who are comfortable at speed a lot of the times.
How's Grease Monkey going to be opening things up here with the pool wide open to them? With the No Mod 5 ban, that does telegraph that some of the gimmickier maps might be trickier here, but that map was very gimmicky. But there is a lot of control in this pool, as tends to be the case with Corsace. But particularly here, I think. A lot of control maps to choose from if that's where you want to go.
I did notice a lot of control in this pool, and I actually do wonder if Fumo is really comfortable on... Interesting to ban out the No Mod 5 and go straight into the No Mod 4. Obviously, compared to No Mod 5, a lot more focus on cut streams. BPM going from 150 to 180 does make this a different skill set, but still sort of surprised to see that being done. I actually think in the future for FUUKA, as you said, a lot of control in this pool. Free Mod 1, although it's mostly testing your ability to tap 210 BPM, has a lot of cuts, has a lot of aim, a bit of slider aim. I think that's something they can go for, but yeah, interesting to see No Mod 4.
A more standard tech map, right? No Mod 5 is wacky, 2064 mapping sliders. This one's more Route 1. Cut streams, control bursts, control heavy sliders, really, but not too high SV. A more comfy sort of No Mod 4. A lot of players are going to be right at home with something like this.
Yep, 100%. Much more traditional test of the skill set. I think some of the sliders do get pretty fast, but it is a combo game. You can just focus on hitting that slider start. Hit the slider end as a bonus, but it's mostly going to be getting through those cut streams, getting just through the starts of the sliders, and act as a bonus at that point.
It's also got the banger buff.
That is true, yeah. It's a banger.
Might actually be my favourite song in the whole pool, other than maybe the TB, because I do love Hisui Shizuka. But this is close.
Yeah. I think I might actually agree with you. I think This is the song I like mentally noted as being a banger.
Hell yeah, dude. Of course, not counting the custom song we do have in this pool, which we haven't seen yet. It hasn't been banned. Having the Hard Rock 2, which we could see in this matchup. I can see it.
Hard Rock 2 is a really cool like rhythm centric map, but you can see already so many breaks out the gate. I think at this point every full combo has been reset. It is Zoomer with the biggest combo, lots of recoveries, but Def and Nathan Ramp dropping. Match by You're Cute. Currently advantage to Grease Monkey Deluxe by a decent amount, especially because this map isn't super long. Already up to a third left. It's a massive combo from Zoomer. He's going to do a lot if he can carry it through.
Things are kind of on the back of him, but it's a team game. The team is looking pretty strong here for Grease Monkey. There's a trade on both sides. As you get into the final drop here with these overlapping square streams. Everyone, the big combos are gone now on Grease Monkey Deluxe. It's just Bunny Like Money left. It's with FUUKA. There goes Bunny Like Money. They're all gone. And the comeback's on here.
Comeback is indeed on. Does Rampax have enough time to recover and take back the score lead? But no, he doesn't.
Oh my god.
6k score on the dot to advantage Grease Monkey Deluxe, and they will narrowly win their own point.
Dude, 6k on the dot. Like, what are the odds of that, first of all?
That is a clean score lead. Love to see that.
Oh, that's the most satisfying videos 2023. And that one is going to keep the... each team winning their first map. Grease Monkey just about take it. I think on the whole it did look pretty good, but they once those end streams came in, they all just crumbled. But they just about save it. Another slider break S for Rampax there. 2-2 for slider breaks.
Yeah, on the double pseudo FC right now. Yeah, slider break, S ranks, much more to be expected on a map with lots of missable sliders. They will be going for the next pick. I think free mod 1 is a really interesting option for the team they have, who they have both players who are comfortable on tapping and comfortable on aim control, and that is a rare map that has a decent amount of both. Might not be picked now, but I'd expect it in the future.
Are FUUKA gonna stick to their guns though when it comes to the speed? That DT2 is the most extreme example of speed abuse here though, so maybe you can't do the same thing. Hard Rock 1 gonna be their next pick. Change of gears there.
Yeah, my theory on what would be picked here has been flipped on its head. This is something I expected Grease Monkey Deluxe to potentially go for, but it will be FUUKA Motor going for Hard Rock 1, the aim consistency Hard Rock. Pretty much exactly what you'd expect, around 200 BPM, just good amount of aim, bit of tapping, but focuses on that Hard Rock consistency.
One of the very few more standard maps I'd say this pool has. Yeah, it's relatively comfy. There is a lot of pattern aim though. Just the right amount of linear aim to make it not completely just brainless aim. And there are some pretty spooky little circular bursts in the choruses that you have to be awake for. They can catch you out if you're unawares. Quite a few in here too, so plenty to be watching out for as a player.
Yeah, this is something I would expect to see Kablaze in for. I think potentially they might not be available. Have to see, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Grease Monkey Deluxe has 4 confident players on this. I think definitely Zoomer, Bunny Like Money should be good on this map. We'll have to see if You're Cute and Melver are as comfortable as well. But definitely, as you said, one of the more conventional and comfortable picks in the pool.
I imagine Grease Monkey, they've got the mechanical backbone to fill in. Yeah, we have had some info there. Maybe Penguinsy and Kablaze aren't around either. Well, two very strong players for this sort of thing, especially Penguinsy. But they should have the cover to be competitive on this, I think.
No,
I
for
guess
sure.
we'll see.
Especially, maps at this star rating, you don't necessarily need 4 super confident players if you just have 1 or 2 players pop off and get big combos or FCs, which Grease Monkey Deluxe definitely has the capability of doing. Really miss from your cute, and now Zeph missing a little bit deeper in, but it's a pretty long map. A miss from Zeph, matched by Melver, and now Konkitsune dropping. See, Bunny like money, I think having the highest stack along with Zoomer. Those 2 players potentially very comfortable.
A few misses from a few of the players. Zeph definitely struggling on the consistency. Another FC goes down for FUUKA. It's 2 FCs to 1 now in favour of Grease Monkey.
I think we saw earlier one of those really scary pentagon-shaped bursts. I think no one missed on it, which is kind of surprising, but Zoomer going to be the one to break. And Bunny like money dropping as well. That is a disaster for Grease Monkey Deluxe. Those 2 combos are doing so much. Now to Rampax, as the last remaining FC's been the one to get 2 S ranks so far. But his consistency, he's definitely on fire today. Now he's going to start swinging that score lead back to the side of FUUKA. Never mind.
Was it a slider break though? That's the question.
Well, I guess we'll see. I actually didn't. I think I saw. That was a genuine miss on an actual circuit. So no triple S rank. Melver was building up a big supporting combo, but that's gone now. It's just Nathan Ram building up again.
Oh my goodness, that Cora section there, I think completely taken out so many players. Grease Monkey don't have any combos at all. It's just Nathan Ram. I think everyone is struggling there, really. But FUUKA coming out of it with the best of it. It's all getting a bit chaotic here.
Lots of players finding misses, especially on some of these flow-aim patterns. But Nathan Ram's massive recovery. I think he missed right around the middle, so this could have potentially been a monster of a score. I think this time a situation where Grease Monkey Deluxe did have 4 players who were pretty comfortable. Obviously nobody under 400k. Actually going to be Zoomer with the lowest score on the team. But FUUKA having those 2 400ks, but also that 600k from Rampax and that almost 700k from Nathan Ram, and ended up being the difference. And I think a funny thing to point out with this map, obviously there was the Corsace slider at the end. Because it's Hard Rock and Hard Rock vertically flips, in the actual editor it's like upside down. That's a cool instance of custom mapping really being specialized for the mod.
So I thought that one through. yeah. So if you play it on no mod, you get the sad upside down Corsace logo. That's what you get for not playing it on the right mod.
Yeah, only play that map Hard Rock.
I'd say that one was relatively close, but it was a case of once we got past the halfway point, players just started really losing their comfort, and FUUKA found some comfort on those players that struggled at the start. All in all, it was a good pick, but I wouldn't say it was clear cut. Next pick will go to Grease Monkey here.
I think Grease Monkey, although so far it's a standard game, no breakpoints haven't traded. That no mod 4 from Grease Monkey Deluxe was very, very narrow in victory. Meanwhile, the 2 picks from FUUKA a lot more convincing in comparison. So I think they want to find not just a win, but like a decisive win, something they can feel confident about and bring some momentum onto their next picks.
Where do we go in terms of that, though? We've seen some good variety. We've got no mod 4. We've seen some raw speed. We've seen some hard rock aim. Maybe something like Hidden could be the shout with that Hidden 2-ban. Hidden 1, more control-based. It's not really an aim map. Hidden 1 is more about controlling Corsace this year. That might be a good choice to go, really. I think I agree with this.
Yeah, no, I think considering the Hidden 2 ban, Hidden 2, 150 BPM, AR8 aim control, this is 155 BPM, but a lot more, obviously comfortable patterns considering the approach rating, but still very dense. I think this is like AR 9.2. So AR 9.2 with 155 BPM mapped actively to 1/4. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very dense. It's going to really favor the hidden comfort players.
Yeah, it's the hidden player map. That's what this is. It's all about that control. It's quite flow aim heavy, but it's got enough snap aim in between that you can't really call it like just a hidden stream map or anything like that. Some 1/6s as well, so some rhythm control in there as well.
And this does alternate a little bit between some 155 BPM flow aim and also snap aim, and especially those transitions from flow aim to snap aim at this density hidden. It's going to take a very comfortable hidden player to do.
I'm seeing Kablaze in the room.
Oh, apparently Kablaze had some PC issues, but is back for this, which I think is good. Because I think in a prior hidden one, which is a similar type of map, Kablaze did do one of the best performances on their team. So good to see Kablaze in. Maybe they picked it, saved it, waiting for Kablaze.
Could have been. I think you wouldn't want to pick this without a player like Kablaze.
Yeah.
Fantastic on maps like this. We haven't seen too many player swaps actually on the side of FUUKA. They've got their core and they're sticking with it. Either that or they're missing a few players. One of the two. Working well so far in this match though.
Yeah. And Kablaze will find a break as well as Melver, matched by Zeph, but it is now 3-2. Never mind, 2-2. Evened out with Zoomer and Yorkute, matching Rampax and Nathan Ram. Zoomer, I think, underrated as like a hidden aim control player. Normally think of him as a speed mechanics player, but secretly very good at maps like this.
99% is going to be doing so much work, or near 99%. Putting in a shift here. Some breaks from now again on the side of FUUKA. They've only got Nathan Ram left with the FC. Not looking too good here in the early stages of this map.
Yeah. It's a very long map though, where not even halfway in and the combo is already approaching 700. Although Grease Monkey Deluxe does have quite a combo lead, they're going to have to carry that on for a little bit longer to feel really good. But now with that drop from Nathan Ram, Zoomer does match, but it's now only Yorkute with the big combo, and that's pretty much going to do it if Yorkute can hold.
There's not a lot to really combat Yorkute here. Zeph's 300 is really it, but we are halfway through. There's still quite a bit of this map to go. So there's still time, but...
Recovery combos are going to be really important because even if Yorkute holds on this FC, if the recoveries on the side of FUUKA end up being really big compared to Grease Monkey Deluxe, might swap over. But Zoomer now building up 300. Yorkute will break. So now it's all on that recovery. There is a almost 300k score lead. Zoomer, Melver, and Kablaze are all recovering, but I think Zeph has the highest combo right now, could make a difference as this map goes on. So we'll find that break. Yeah.
3 miss. Oh dear, yeah. That 3 miss there from FUUKA, and that should save it here for Grease Monkey. The job's done, I think. Yeah, they're all gone.
Yeah.
The vocals were just too strong here.
I think, as I said, they were looking for a really good pick, and this was it. 400k 600k plus score lead building up now as Zoomer has recovered 600 combo as we unwind at this outro. And yeah, really solid pick from Grease Monkey Deluxe. I think this is exactly what they wanted as they take this match 2-2.
Big performances from You're Cute and Zoomer. That Zoomer act, though. Yeah, I can see why he's so highly rated. Even on stuff like this, you mentioned it. That's a great score for this map.
That is fantastic. Lowest miscount, best act.
Well, so far, both teams just winning their own picks. It's the moment the script has been followed.
Yep. The legendary script.
Yeah. When does someone break that off, though? Presumably when the map pool starts thinning and you got to get stuck into some of those proper Corsace spicy maps, which there's still plenty flying around in this pool. Next pick will go to FUUKA. Mixing and matching with their picks at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, so far, Grease Monkey Deluxe have picked 2 control maps in different kinds of control. But FUUKA, I mean, they have picked into mechanics, different types of mechanics, one being aim, one being tapping. Maybe they'll stick to the mechanics lane. But obviously, we are going into the second round of bans first for this round. After the first 2 maps have been banned, get the next 4 maps, and now the second round of bans. I wonder what they go for here for FUUKA's ban.
I mean, I'd be a little bit surprised if the other low AR was banned, considering it's in free mod. You'd see more. Surely they have one player. I mean, they have Megamick who could potentially take a hidden if they wanted to keep banning the low AR, but
yeah,
at the moment, considering the way this match has gone, there's not too much data on what they're clearly going to get outclassed on, really. Maybe more mechanics bans. You know, I would go as far as saying a no mod 1 ban might not be bad for FUUKA against this team of Grease Monkey Deluxe. But who knows? As for Grease Monkey Deluxe, though, well, they got outschooled on that DT2 4v4. There's not too much speed left in the pool, but another DT could be the shout. Maybe the free mod 1 if they're really struggling, but that's only 210. I don't know. I can't see him banning any other speed because there isn't really any other extreme speed in this pool.
Yeah. I mean, free mode 1 is 210 BPM, but has a lot of elements around the tech skill set that, considering Grease Monkey Deluxe picked and 1 on no mod 4,
oh no,
might want to go for. Oh, but Grease Monkey Deluxe banning Hard Rock 2.
No, not the custom song Hard Rock 2. The precision map. Well, yeah, I mean, they lost the Hard Rock 1, but I'd say that was pretty competitive. The Hard Rock 2 is much more spicy, though. It's a control map on precision. They don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where if you're not super comfortable on Hard Rock 1, Hard Rock 2 feels even worse because a lot of that 6.5 aim control with some weird rhythm changes is going to be really brutal. But FUUKA will ban No Mod 3, so this No Mod 3 being, honestly, pretty similar type of map style to Hidden 1. So I can see why they banned it. See, Hidden 1 being 155 BPM alt aim control, and No Mod 3 being 150 BPM alt aim control. Obviously, a step up in terms of mechanics, as Hidden 1 was more about reading, but a fair ban. They will go right into DT1, so sticking in their mechanics lane.
Straight up 10.3 DT. It's sort of what you'd expect. A bit slower, actually, compared to a lot of the usual sort of aim-heavy DTs you see. It's just like around 220 BPM or so. High AR.
225 BPM at 10.3 will make this map very not dense, which will make it very comfortable to read. I think the standard for a 10.3 is probably around 240 BPM. as like an expected BPM to approach rating ratio for DT1, but this will be very, very comfortable for players who can read high AR. It'll be very comfortable to read. I think because of the 225 BPM, you get a bit more spacing, some bigger aim in this map. So it will really cater to 10.3 aim players, which, to be honest, I do think Grease Monkey Deluxe has several players who are going to be pretty comfortable on this, but I mean, FUUKA Motor has surprised me with picks like DT2, so yeah, we'll see how they go.
It's going to be a toss-up, this pick, I think. I'd go as far as saying it's quite brave. Sure, they won DT2, but this ain't no speed abuse map. It's going to be a head-to-head, but if they can take this one, it's pretty huge. No one's lost their own pick yet, though, so dropping this one could be... It could put them in a world of hurt if Grease Monkey still have some good picks up their sleeve. We'll see, though.
Yeah, I do agree. I think regardless, this feels a bit more coin flipping. They do have Penguinsy, so that is now the full roster of Grease Monkey Deluxe has been seen, I believe. And that means they have the ideal 4 players for this map.
They've gone up the gears now. They've reached full strength. Apparently Penguinsy overslept, so maybe he needs to warm up. But he's one of the players you'll want on this sort of thing. Super strong mechanics player. But he's in
that slider.
Yeah, I mean, that's the start. First map up. One time though, so early misses. It's whatever.
I will say, Bunny Like Money dropping as well now leaves Zoomer as the lone remaining FC on the side of Grease Monkey. Zeph and Konkitsune holding an 8th ram on the recovery. That scoreline's going to start flinging. I do think that when you oversleep, I feel like tapping is easier to get in check. Reading is a lot harder to recover. Z may be missing on some aim because of that. But right now it is heavily FUUKA Motor favored.
Yeah, to be fair, I agree. It does take a few maps to really get your aim calibrated. Yeah. At the moment, relying on Zoomer only for this. Those 2 FCs on FUUKA Motor looking really comfy, but aim is aim, and you can be perfectly fine. Slip up once and halve your score. We are way past halfway now, though, and we're 600k. It ain't looking good here for Grease Monkey.
Not at all. And it kind of surprises me, the scoreline from Grease Monkey Deluxe. This might be an instance of tournament experience outclassing raw mechanics, because I want to say on paper, the entire roster of Grease Monkey Deluxe should be able to FC this map. They would definitely, I would expect to see them all have FCs on locals, but maybe just the tournament pressure, the tournament consistency, not doing it for them, as we see Kitsune on a very high AC FC, 99.73. Absolute stellar performance and just a really, really good team score.
Excellent team score. Lowest score of 810k. Yeah, never mind. Who are we to judge them picking this after seeing
Yeah, 100%. What? I mean, that was almost a million score lead.
Yeah, sure, this is going to be one of the highest scoring maps, I think, but that score is as good as you can really expect. Great FCs, actually. Multiple. From Zoomer as well. But that 300s, oof.
Yeah. That is a fantastic performance. I do think this map is... generally, DT1s tend to be one of the higher star rating maps in the pool. This one is just a touch under 7 stars, but I do think that slightly underestimated its difficulty, just because some of the aim being more space and more consistent. Sort of like some, more space nomad ones that end up having a lower star rating than they might really feel like playing. But now it's, still each team winning their own pick. Despite, I want to say, FUUKA having so far the more consistent margins of victory. Grease Monkey Deluxe have yet to drop their own point, so assuming they can keep winning their picks, it's gonna start approaching tiebreaker.
We are edging closer and closer to that TB. A Ryusei Aika TB, by the way. That strikes fear into the hearts of all players, but as the pool starts thinning, and there are still plenty of maps to go, winning your own picks is only going to get harder.
Yeah, 100%. Those very decisive picks get less and less decisive generally. And Grease Monkey Deluxe will go for free mod too. I think you did mention this is something FUUKA might have thought of banning, considering the Hidden 2 ban. Obviously, you can just have one player on the Hidden, which is likely what's going to happen, but it's still so important to have your 2 no-mod players, assuming you're going 2 no-mod players, be comfortable on a map like this. Either that or you have some really good Hard Rock players. And this free mod 2 is CS 5.2, AR 7.8. And I think notably that CS 5.2 is going to make this brutal on the Hard Rock. I think the 5.2 will be a more significant step up than the going from 8 to 7.8.
I do agree with you. I think somewhat. I think both of those settings, just the fact that they're slightly more spicy makes all the difference. AR8 people are used to. AR 7.8, it's like shifting things just a little bit, so it doesn't quite feel right. So I think both mods are going to be struggling. But yeah, the slightly smaller CS on this wide linear aim style is not going to be friendly to the Hard Rock players, no doubt.
I do agree with you. I think like on paper, because the way Hard Rock scaled circle size, the smaller the circles are, the more dramatic of effect Hard Rock puts on the circle size. But so many players are so used to AR8 Hidden specifically. It's kind of like how so many Hard Rocks are used to AR10 Hard Rock, where if you had to play like 9.9 or 9.8 Hard Rock, even though it shouldn't be that different, it just feels wrong. And I think you're going to see that some of the low AR players, especially on that Hidden.
I think that's a great way to put it. It just feels wrong. You can't put your finger on what the difference is. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how the players deal with it. We're seeing an extra Hard Rock on Team FUUKA, who, they are the ones that like to get rid of that AR8. They've been banning Hidden 2, and they have gone for the extreme precision over AR 7.8 no mod. See how that works.
Yeah, that precision is going to be pretty tough, but the patterns are overall pretty straightforward. So the Hard Rock aim is a massive precision test. Do see a few misses in the intro, but still pretty even. Melver on a no mod SS right now. So is Nathan Ram.
See how long it lasts.
Ooh, that is a rough double combo reset on the side of Grease Monkey Deluxe. That is now all of their FCs gone. Meanwhile, Rampack still FCing on Hard Rock, which is insane, and Nathan Ram is still holding a really strong no-mod combo.
Nathan Ram on the reliable no-mod could be a strong base to build up their lead here, but that Hard Rock just looks so sketch to me. But Rampax has been playing so well this match. He might just have the ability to pull it off here.
I mean, already halfway through on Grease Monkey Deluxe's pick. It's not looking great for them. It's still doable if we see a miss from Rampax and Nathan Ram, just because those supporting combos on the side of Grease Monkey Deluxe are all recovering, but will need a drop from one of those FCs on the side of FUUKA for it to start swinging the other way.
Breaks on that Hard Rock, pushing the advantage further away here from Grease Monkey. Last quarter of the map, and it's 500k of a lead. That's huge. Big drop from FUUKA, but they've still got an FC. It's surely all over.
Yeah, I think, drop from Nathan Ram, but it's only Kablaze with any significant combo on the side of Grease Monkey Deluxe, and there is not enough time. I think that those two really big combos, notably Rampax, like getting over 700k on Hard Rock is pretty insane. Nathan Ram doing really well reading the no mod. And that's going to be the first break point of the match, breaking the script. It is now FUUKA 4-2. And now they're poised to start, taking this over.
Yeah, some of the accuracies on those no mod, pretty big. Fairly comfortable on that. I suppose that map is not really about the AC, it's more about the aim. Still great to see though, but finally this tug of war that's just been so even finally sees an advantage. Now FUUKA in such a strong position here.
So far, like, their mechanics picks have gone so well that they should probably just stick to it. And as far as what you have, free mod 1 still an option. They've won both DTs, maybe go DT3, even though that is very, very different, way more focused on high BPM cuts. But yeah, I don't know, maybe no mod 1, for sure.
I think in terms of the consistency war, I think they do have the edge. Sure, Grease Monkey have the mechanics, but it's looking like FUUKA just have the consistency today. No Mod 1's probably not a bad shout now, I think. Could also look at something maybe like a No Mod 2 as well. That's another one that's relatively standard, comfy, although No Mod 2 can be the great equalizer, because if you can play No Mod 2, even if you're under pressure, you can still play it well. No Mod 1 is the shout, though. You called it, Vordy.
Yeah. Surprise. I mean, they have won 2 other ones, so it makes sense. The hidden one not really being an A map, but the 2 consistency A maps they've won out, notably DT1, they won by quite a large margin. Yeah, No Mod 1, I think last round the No Mod 1 was a little bit on the weird side. It was AR9, a bit more uncomfortable jump patterns, had a slight edge towards people who are comfortable with reading. However, this No Mod 1, a lot more standard AR 9.6, 232 BPM. That is actually on the faster side. But I think the BPM players will be comfortable single tapping or ulting it realistically. I don't think there should be much of an issue. But considering the performance on DT1 Hard Rock On, I think this is a fair pick.
Yeah, it's pretty comfy. The last No Mod 1 was pretty spicy with the AR9. This one's much more Route 1. Godosu and Frost Switch map. They put together something that the mechanics players should be able to lap up. This SR's not so high that it's going to be destroying people mechanically at this level. It is quite spiky though, I'd say. Like the verses definitely tone down the intensity and then they ramp up in the choruses. You gotta be awake for those. And generally, as the map goes on, it does get more difficult, I find. It sort of scales up linearly like that.
Yeah. That kind of scaling will also make misses in the first half a lot more brutal, as you'll expect to see more players drop off towards the end. Nathan Ram finding the first break.
Very early break, but it does start off pretty intense, this. Nathan Ram there, one of their base players, but there's plenty of time for him to get back into this.
Yeah,
I think the deal breaker is going to be later on. Once you get past halfway and some of the spicier sections come up, players might be a bit nervous, might be a bit, they've been going for a little bit and they're going to drop their concentration for just a moment later on.
Konkon Kitsune also breaking, but still a very long map, as you said. Plenty of time to recover. Only a quarter way through, however. Depending on how long the combos Grease Monkey DELUXE can hold. Melver does drop, still 3-2 now, but Nathan Ram has pretty much recovered from that miss in the intro. It's going to be pretty even. You can see some of these sections already getting quite spaced, and because this is 236, this spacing, you have to aim pretty fast with some of these patterns. A little bit faster than you'd normally expect on a No Mod 1.
This map's probably more of a traditional speed aim map than maybe the DT1 one.
Yeah. It is higher BPM than DT1.
It is. Quite a bit faster, in fact.
Yeah. I kind of like spicy No Mod 1s though, in a way. Like, I think a lot of the times No Mod 1s don't get picked because they're so standard and so comfy. So having No Mod 1s with a little bit of a other aspect to them, round robin being a bit of reading, a bit of density, this being a little bit higher BPM, I think is a cool direction to go.
a big miss there from FUUKA. More advantage going over to Grease Monkey now. They've really got something to sink their teeth into here. That's the halfway point. There's still a lot of FCs. 5 FCs on the board here. 3v2. Nathan Round with just the reverse choke so far.
Nathan Ram dropping. That is a big combo gone from FUUKA. He pretty much had a pseudo FC, but it is now 3 FCs on the side of Grease Monkey. Melvin with a huge recovery there. There was a break there, so nerves might impact Grease Monkey Deluxe, but assuming they can hold on at least 2 of these combos, I think it's going to do it. It's only Rampax. Bunny does find a break on the slow slider. That is so unfortunate. He had such insane accuracy as well. It's still advantage Grease Monkey.
It is. They've still got the edge, but score lead is still fairly precarious. Getting into the final chorus here. And where things get really spicy as another break for FUUKA. Zeph with the break. That's bad for FUUKA. Grease Monkey might just be safe here now.
Yeah, with that break from Content Kitsune, it's only Rampax with an FC, and I think as the scores are building, Rampax doesn't have enough time. Even if, Grease Monkey Deluxe quadruple miss, this will be Grease Monkey Deluxe taking back that break point that they lost on Fremont 2, and will now even up the match again. So you get 2 very solid scores. Oh, Zoom, you're not finding the FC, but I think you're cute.
No, Roddy, what you doing?
My bad. At least Rampax FC'd. Okay, at least somebody FC'd.
Yeah, at least you go, hey, Rampax is probably the one player that deserves an FC the most after all these slider breaks he's been getting. Yep, he finally gets one on the board. He's not getting the point though, because it's going over to Grease Monkey. And well, that's the perfect time to get a break point right back. And we're pretty much bang even with Grease Monkey having the next pick. They win that. We're back into a very well poised matchup. Great steal on the No Mod 1 there.
Yeah, fantastic steal. I think had they lost that pick, would have put them in a really rough situation where they're now picking into potentially the end of the match. But now 4-3, this is their opportunity to go 4-4 and really start pushing for a tiebreaker face-off. Now, as for what they can go for in terms of picks, the pool has narrowed down quite a lot. You have Fremont 1 open, you have DT3 open, Hard Rocks are gone, Hiddens are gone. Yeah, I don't know. I think Fremont 1 could be an option because it is a techie speed map, and I don't think the 210 BPM will be as big of a tapping gate as the 250 on DT2 would be.
Yeah, I don't think the speed element of the Fremont 1 is going to be a problem here for Grease Monkey. And yeah, the tech styling might benefit him pretty well. Especially now we've got a few maps under the belt, so those tech players can really start to flex if they want to go in that direction. But really, I said this generally the only things left are fairly gimmicky, apart from maybe No Mod 2. I can't see him picking No Mod 2 though.
Well, they will go Fremont 1.
There it is. It is the leaf.
I'm trying to add up in my head. Would a full 5-5 match with obviously tiebreaker left use every map in the pool as either picked or banned? I think it does. So I think the last pick will just be a default pick, right? Because you have after this you have No Mod 2 open, DT3 open, and I think that's it.
Yeah, looking at it again, yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah, they are going to be forced into playing what's left.
Yeah,
didn't actually look into that. Well, that's going to be interesting considering how stamina heavy that No Mod 2 is. I think it pretty much writes itself that FUUKA should. I mean, if they don't pick No Mod 2, I'll be surprised. But then again, I don't know. It depends on what you want to play first.
Yeah, if it goes 4-4, assuming Grease Monkey Deluxe wins this pick, like it's pretty much you're just picking which one you want to play first because you're playing both either way, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the choice is less impactful. But free mod 1, 210 BPM. This is a really spicy free mod 1. Obviously, free mod 1 now, it used to be generally like the aim consistency slot. Has now turned in a lot of team tournaments to the speed slot. But this is sort of a mix of both the old style of free mod 1 mapping, there's a bit more aim consistency, and now the new speed style with a little bit of cut streams in between, a bit of tech elements, a really like all around, like well-rounded skill set map. It's like a pseudo tiebreaker in a way, I want to say, but just much shorter.
It does test a lot. One thing I noticed about this in particular is it has these like stacks that wiggle on the spot. I think they wiggle in such a way where it might be quite hard to choose for Hard Rock players. I'm sure it's doable, but very precise. And those Hard Rock players,
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
You have to deal with that.
Yeah, you are right. I think you'll still be able to cheese it, but you'll have to be very, very precise in your cursor positioning. But you can see at 210 BPM, 210 BPM cuts are so brutal how much little time you have to make those precise cuts, and already so many breaks out the gate. Melver with the last FC, but Nathan Ram matching Bunny Like Money's recovery. Bunny Like Money does break. Now it's pretty much Ram versus Melver. And everybody dropping now.
That stream,
no FCs left.
Rampack's hitting that stream on Hard Rock though. Hello.
That is actually mental. We saw how
today. He played so well.
He played the free mod 2 so well on Hard Rock, getting over 700k on like almost CS7, and now doing it again, having the highest combo in the lobby on Hard Rock. And this isn't a map where, you know, no mod reading is harder. This is, Hard Rock is, I would say, probably the hardest mod on this.
Yeah.
Whoa! Okay, he got through that slider stream, which is mental.
And there's a four-way reset on Team Grease Monkey. It is looking brutal, but Rampack's just going forward a combo. He finally drops it, but that is pretty big. That said, though, a score lead is still only about 60k because this map is causing everyone problems. 95% FC, 95% ACK. Sorry, Melva is looking very valuable the way this match is going. If you can hold on to it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, just any slight combo buildup is so important. You can see Nathan, Ram, Zeph, Rampax all recovering. It's only Zoomer on 200 now. And with that earlier big Hard Rock combo on Rampax, I think FUUKA Motor should have enough at this point to take this.
Just
Rampax has dropped, but still Nathan Ram matching Zoomer. There we go. FUUKA Motor will take another break point, taking this match 5-3 going into their last pick. And I mean, very, very challenging map you could see from those scores.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't quite expecting this to be as spicy as it was for the room, but yeah, that map is clearly no joke. Nathan Ram through the ending there on that no mod, sealing it for his team. Rampax with that Hard Rock performance. That combo is ace. But that is another steal, another break point. Getting a few now here, Vordy.
Yeah, I mean, I was sort of hoping that Grease Monkey Deluxe would take that just because I crave tiebreakers. But I mean, now FUUKA Motor is looking really good. There's only 2 maps left. You have No Mod 2 and you have DT3, so they get to choose which one they want to play first. And to be honest, I feel like, considering the way this match has been going, FUUKA Motor might be stronger on both. I think the argument for No Mod 2 is you have somebody like Bunny Like Money on the other side, Grease Monkey Deluxe, who is really, really good at stream maps, and you could have those carry performances swaying it the other way, but yeah, I'm not really sure which they go for between DT3 and No Mod 2.
Yeah, I think I'd swing towards the DT3 here, simply because it's a much more weird left field, uncomfortable map.
Yeah,
they have the, you know, they have the room, they have the momentum, and they have an extra point, knowing that they can play No Mod 2 and be pretty good at it. No Mod 2 can, you know, like I say, Grease Monkey could just do well on that. And yeah, DT3 is going to be the pick.
This is a really cool map. I think the hardest part about it is going to be a lot of very high BPM 1/4 cuts. I think it's like 160 BPM with DT, 165. So that would be the equivalent of like, 330 alting. And because it's so consistent, it's going to take a very good double time control player to play this map. Also AR 9.7, I think sometimes maps like this tend to be on the higher approach rating just to make it a bit more easy to read. But 9.7 at this BPM with some of the patterns it has is also going to make the reading pretty tough. So we'll see. This is the kind of map like you don't expect to have 4 good players for. I don't think you even need 4 good players. You maybe need 2 or 3 really comfortable players on a skill set like this, and that'll be enough.
It's quite a spicy one. This, I'm using that word a lot today, but this is the one map that really epitomizes it. Scub domino mapping, Brazilian bossa. It's a genre that you'd never see mapped really. Scub domino breaking out some unique stuff here, and the rhythms in this, it has some really spicy 1/6, some awkward rhythms and some nasty linear aim too. It's a Scub domino special, this, and with Grease Monkey being under pressure here to steal this one back or potentially face elimination, it's a spooky one for them. That said, though, they have some very scary, AR8 DT players. I'm looking at Kablaze on this one, who is apparently not in. It's interesting. I'm surprised not to see Kablaze in for this. Maybe they're still having some issues on their setup, but who knows?
I mean, she did play the Hidden One and played it pretty well. So I'm surprised not to see Kablaze, just because I do think, notably AR8 DT versus AR9 DT, especially on a map like this, is is a pretty different skill set. But as you mentioned as well, this is such a unique genre of song to find in Osu. Definitely very cool to hear it in editor, but already 3 breaks on the side of FUUKA Motor and still 3 FCs on the side of Grease Monkey DELUXE. Money does drop, but this is a map you don't expect too many big combos to survive for that long, so only Hakoi Kyori. Actually, is this the first Hakoi Kyori map we've seen? Or I'm misremembering?
I think they popped in the last map. I think that was the very first one. FUUKA Motor have been playing with the same 4 for so many maps, but yeah, Megamick and Hakui Kyori now, they've got some backup here at the end of this match, potentially.
I do think Hakui Kyori is one of FUUKA Motor's strongest overall players, and now Zoomer is still holding on to FC, matching Hakui Kyori, but Nathan Ram and Megamick have recovered past the 500 combo point now, and it's just being matched by really no one, especially with that break from Zoomer. It's going to make a recovery very, very difficult unless we see a lot of breaks on the side of FUUKA Motor right now.
The FC's down there, but we're nearing the end of the map here. There's just nothing really on Grease Monkey to combat this. Megamick running it back. That recovery will just about seal it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a little bit of time for Melver to maybe take this back, but that is going to be it. FUUKA Motor taking this last point, winning the match 6-3. And that will be Grease Monkey DELUXE eliminated from the tournament. GG's to getting to this stage. And yeah, good luck to FUUKA Motor in the next phase of this round, where they'll be playing for a high seeding in the knockout stage.
It was a hard-fought one, a competitive one to kick off the runoffs this weekend. Both teams having their good picks, getting some big wins, maybe some close ones, sure. But once we got to the end of this game, FUUKA Motor's consistency just seemed to shine through. And for a lot of that as well, they barely had any player swaps. Some of the versatility of their players to stand up against some of the very strong players on Grease Monkey. I'm really impressed with how FUUKA Motor played this one, considering that.
Yeah, just so many wins on quite diverse range of skill sets. But yeah, really, GG's to them. And I think there is a match that we'll be swapping to, that would be going on right now. leave.